Welcome everyone to my latest Galactic Civilizations 3 Let's Play. My name's Macsen. This Let's Play is going to be a bit different to my previous Galciv 3 Let's Plays. I'm going to be playing on Suicidal, Godlike difficulty as always, but I'm going to be using a custom race for the first time, and you can see them here. They are the Terran Resurgence. So they're based on the Terran Alliance. They're very similar to them. They have the same abilities and many of the same features. But there's one key difference, and that's their race traits. If I scroll down through here, you can see that they're actually negative in each and every single race trait I've selected there. If I go into the editing screen, go to the traits and abilities, you can see I've actually picked the worst selection in each and every circumstance for the racial traits that you can pick. There's a few that you can actually lower. Observant, which is sensors, fast, which is movement, and organized, which is logistics, but every single other one has been minus. So well, if I go through them, it's manufacturing, research, influence, growth, gross income, morale, growth rate, maintenance. I should mention actually why I'm doing this first before I go through all of them. Basically, I want to provide myself with a very difficult challenge. Because in previous Galciv 3 Let's Plays, the game hasn't really challenged me, to be honest, even though it's been on the hardest difficulty setting. There are issues with the AI within the game, so I'm basically setting up a scenario where the AI has the most chance against me, or at least a heck of a lot bigger chance against me. And in fact, with all of these negatives to the racial traits, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to win, basically. It may take me a go or two, or even more possibly. But every single race trait here has a minus to it, apart from those three as I mentioned. Now the Terran abilities, they have engineers, this custom race does, and colonizers, so they're still going to be useful to me. And I'll take you through the other settings as well. So I've kept these pretty similar to the normal Terran settings. The appearance I've changed a bit though, so the interface and map is the same, not that that really matters. I've changed the ship style, so it's a pirate ship style now instead of the normal Terran one. I've inverted colours, and you can change those around as well. I'm not sure if I did that. The tech tree, I'm keeping to the Terran tech tree. This only matters if the AI is actually using the custom race, so I haven't done anything with that. The leader there is Drew Ballard, and it's a bit of a backstory. I've added a couple of pictures from the campaign that is in Galciv 3. And there's some details here. I've created a startup screen, which I'm going to read later on. There's a brief description. So basically the Terran Resurgence are, well, if you know the lore of Galciv 3, the Terran faction is basically under siege by the Drengin. Earth is under siege and is protected by a precursor shield, I believe. In this lore for this race, basically Earth is defeated, it falls to the Drengin, and the rescuing fleet that saves Earth doesn't basically appear. I've created my own logo based on the Terran logo. There's a few extra details here as well. You can actually select a star system when you're creating a custom race, and with the backstory I didn't think it made sense to keep Earth, so I've actually picked Iconis, which is normally the Iconian home system. So this gives a class 13 world and a class 3 world. I wanted a really good home world, but I actually wanted a secondary world as well. I'll mention more about why I wanted that later on into the Let's Play. Right, so that's the custom race that I've created. So if I continue things, let's see the actual settings I'm going to be using for this Let's Play. Now, sadly there isn't a way to deselect one of these factions, and I didn't want the Terran Alliance to feature, so I've had to manually select these races. These should definitely provide a challenge. Ideology wise, I'm probably going to be going a mixture of pragmatic or benevolent, so having a couple of races that go benevolent, they're not going to like the Terran Resurgence, and keeping the Drengin and Snaffly on side is going to be very difficult anyway. With the -2 diplomacy we get as well from the racial traits, it's arguably going to be nearly impossible. So so there's 4 opponents in total. Game settings, I've kept this to pretty much the default. All of these settings I'm using are very similar to the previous Let's Plays I've done. I'm going to have Tech Brokering on. If I'm going to win this game, then I definitely need to take advantage of the AI and diplomacy. Godlike difficulty, yeah, all of these are pretty much on the defaults, I believe. That's default. All the victory conditions are standard. Going to be playing on a huge map, loose clusters, and the galaxy options. Now this game I'm playing is actually slightly modded. I've made a few XML tweaks. So normally a huge map can have up to about 125 planets. I've lowered that in the XML to 60, but that doesn't include the Empire's home systems like Earth or Drengi, for example. So in reality, with these settings, this should max out near to the maximum I've set. So it should be between 60 and 70 planets, more likely nearer to 70 planets. And because I've put them on abundant. Apart from that, I've increased the anomalies, the nebulas I should say, because I like those. I wish they were actually impassable, so there'd be some terrain features on the map. There isn't really in Galsa 3. Anomalies are occasional. I've randomized the Ascension crystals because it might be worthwhile going for that victory type if there's a lot of them and not if there isn't. And they're pretty much default, a lot of those are. So that's the settings I'm going to be using. There's also 3 different DLCs I'm using. I'm using all of the gameplay DLCs, the Snaffy, also the Mega Events, and the last one is the Precursor Worlds. Now I've actually made tweaks to the Precursor Worlds as well in the XML files. So normally on a huge map there would be 18 Precursor Worlds. That's way too many, so I've lowered that by half to 9. So they're very powerful, but we're not going to see quite as many as you would normally with this current patch, which is 1.52. Right, I've mentioned a ton of stuff. Let's actually start a game, shall we? So let's get started. Okay, so this is some of the backstory I've written for this custom race. The defeated Terran Resurgence. The Terran Alliance has been defeated. Earth has fallen. Billions slain in an orgy of gluttony by our Drengian oppressors. The hopeless remnants of a once proud civilization, humanity's fleeing survivors have found a new home, Infernum, a planet barely suitable for life on the forgotten side of the galaxy. It will likely prove to be only a temporary refuge. Strengths and weaknesses. This race's only strength is its will to succeed. Everything else is against it. So not sure I'm going to win any literary awards for that, but yeah, I'll do the job. So where are we on the galactic map? We are on the side, perhaps even the forgotten side of the galaxy. There's actually a habitable planet I can see straight away, and it's a pretty decent one as well. So that's a good dose of luck to start out. Good. If I'm going to do well in this Let's Play, I'm going to need a lot of luck. So preferably, I want a couple of precursor worlds nearby. That's what I'm really hoping for. I wouldn't mind some extra cargo space or an extra movement resource on the home planet, so let's see if that's the case. We've got morale. Actually, that's not too bad either, because we get minus 30% to morale, so I'm reasonably happy about that. We've got a bonus tile there, that is extra research, but there's not much space around it. Capitals by there, that's a good rin for lots of adjacency. That's not a bad capital actually. The tiles are in different locations every time, and the bonus resources and bonus trade resources are always different, so yeah, I'm quite liking that. So you've got to have a decent start here, which is going to be helpful. It's not brilliant, but yeah, not bad at all. Now, I have actually played with this custom race a bit before, so I've designed some ships, for example, in previous games, and ships is something I should definitely mention. The minus the cargo space is going to have a huge effect on this game with this custom race. You can see here, normally a cargo hull would have 90 space on it. This only has 63 because of the minus 30%. So I'm going to be only able to put on a certain amount of modules, not as many as normal. And that's going to have huge effect because Out-colonizing the AI is the key way to win on the harder difficulties, and I'm going to find that much harder to do so if I can't make very good colony ships, for example. And later on, my combat ships are going to be a lot worse as well, since they have a lot less space, and also I have minuses to hit points. They're easier to hit, and also I have less accuracy as well. So there's a huge amount of negative things that come along with all of these negative race traits that I'm going to be mentioning frequently throughout the course of this Let's Play, no doubt. So let's actually start out by selecting some research to do. Now, if you've watched any of my guide videos, especially my colony spam guide video or my previous Let's Plays, you'll know that I recommend this as the starting research that you should start with. But I'm not actually going to be picking that up in this Let's Play with this custom race. It's very, very important, but with the -2 morale, I'm actually going to be heading off towards supported population first to pick up the extra 4 morale. As you can see on the capital, as I showed before, it has really low morale. In fact, the other starting systems that I colonize would have 0 morale if it weren't for that resource, but even with only 1 morale, it's not going to be very good. So I definitely want to pick Xenocommerce and the supported population up first. So I also want to make some buildings on my home world as well, so let's do that now. We had a research bonus here, so let's stick some research here. There's certain key techs that are very important to get, so I want to be acquiring them. So I need to make a certain amount of research buildings. Let's put one there. How many do I want? What's that? It's a bonus to. That's a bonus to approval. So I probably want to approve a building there at some point. I'm kind of wondering where to put my factories. Arguably I want them there, but I need to put my research somewhere as well. Let's cancel that. I think I'll have my factories there, and I'll put these there perhaps. Not sure if I'll have 5 or not, but yeah, that's what I'll put in the list for the time being. So let's buy that one. Now I have more maintenance than normal. You can see an extra 30%, and also wealth generation's 30% less. Tourism is 30% less. So all of those issues mean I'm going to have a lot less money. I've got to be much more careful with this than normal. But there's certain things I will be spending my money on. A colony ship, for example. In fact, probably 2 colony ships I'm going to buy here, since there's another world I can see straight away. So let's put colony ship in a list. Now this has had all of its modules taken off it, so it's just basic as possible. So let's buy that there. I'm going to change the governor to research. I want to get research done as quickly as possible. There was a coercion mechanic added in patch 1.5, which means I get less raw production, but the key thing is to research, so I'm maximizing that currently. One thing I should mention about the governor wheel and planetary wheels is interstellar governance. Now I'm using a modded version of games I mentioned previously, and I've actually, the last of my tweaks or mods is to do with the Bureau of Labor. Now basically I've modded this, I've modded the maintenance and manufacturing costs to make it much less worthwhile in building. Normally you would want to build this on pretty much every planet you have, because it's so powerful. It allows you to individually manage each and every planet's production. But I don't like the individual planetary wheel at all, so I've made this much less worthwhile to build. I fully tested this. I had problems in the previous Let's Play, but it's definitely working now. Right, I've got a few ships to move, so let's do those. I can't see any anomalies yet for my survey ship to get. Artifacts are going to be incredibly important to pick up to get potentially free techs, which they actually give you. My tech rate is going to be pretty dreadful since I have a -30% and I also build buildings a lot slower. So I'm going to be on the lookout for them. Now I want to extend my range as much as possible here. I've got -30% to range. In fact, it's only, if I go on the colony ship, 10 or 11, I'm not sure. If it rounds it up or not. Need to find that out actually. So yeah, I need to extend my range as much as possible. So hopefully there's some habitable planets there. I think that's the direction I'm going to go in. I could go there. There could be a habitable planet there perhaps. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to go in that direction. There's not much chance of it. But actually if I colonize there, that will extend my range. So I might be able to get over to there anyway. The survey ship, which direction? The stars are pretty much all over the place actually here, so it's quite hard to figure out where I should go. I think I should, let's bring that up there. Let's bring the scout down there. And I think I'll bring that up there. Right, so I've done the movement, I've bought a lab, I've done my tech, I've done the govern screen. I think that is it for the turn. I don't think I've forgotten anything, so end of turn. Right, so we've got population from the colony ship. Now sometimes I would actually take the starting population from a colony ship and stick it back on the starting planet. It's got 2.5 billion there, but in this case a pop cap is only 10.5 billion, so I'm already at that basically. Because we have a lot less food than normal, we also have a worse growth rate. Every single area going we have something bad basically. Let's keep on buying these research labs. So I think I'm going to hold off on buying that. I'm going to put that one to the bottom of the list. I definitely want 4, but I'm not sure if I want 5. Okay. I want to know... Right, let's get this colony ship out. I think I'll head off towards there first. Can only really afford 500 million. If you take too much population off your homeworld, it lowers the manufacturing amount. Or production amount, I should say. Let's buy another colony ship. So my money's going fast here already. Gonna have to be a bit careful with that until I find another race to trade with and have diplomatic translators. So I'm probably going to spend 3,500, maybe 4,000 of it early on. Got to be a bit careful. Have I done? Right, I've done that. Done the movement. End of turn. Right, another colony ship. Really got to find ways to increase the speed of my ships because, well, not going to do well if I can't find ways of doing that. Right, so another 500 million there. Let's take a pass of round that system. Okay, and come there. I've moved that this turn, have I? I'm actually going to move my shipyard, so this has a sound bug, so hold your ears, it's quite loud. Okay, so that noise happens every time I anchor it and unanchor it. I'm not going to mention that again, but you know now. Right, so basically I want to move this probably so it's nearer to the stars, so my colony ships would start nearer to the places where I want them to go. I need to keep this within 6 tiles of my planets here though, I think. Otherwise you get degradation to the production that's being moved to the shipyard. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay, that works out pretty well, I think. Let's buy another lab. Okay, so they get adjacency bonuses in a minute. Extra 5%. All matters. Very much matters when we have such well, minus 30% to research there. Let's end the turn. Okay. I think I'll bring that up around there. I really could do with finding some anomalies now, but not having any luck. Okay. Oh wow. Ah, damn it. Right, so I've just found a precursor world, but it requires atmospheric cleansing, which is a tech that's quite deep into the tech trees. I'm not going to be able to colonize this anytime soon. In fact, possibly forever, because that tech is... where is it? There. That's in the Age of Ascension, so it's, yeah, that's so late game that it's not going to really matter by the time I'm able to colonize it. If I'd have been able to colonize that, that would have been huge, and this game would, well, I'd have a much better chance of doing well in it, put it that way. Let's move that down there. Found an anomaly. Space junk isn't really all that worthwhile in beelining towards. You get a maximum of 100 credits out of it. Right, so let's buy another laboratory, I think. Okay, and how many is that? 4? I don't think I'm gonna buy that one. I'm gonna start on factories then. Let's cancel that. Okay. So how much do I have? 2,400 credits. Not a lot already. Okay. Research is done. Slowly getting done. Let's pick up the morale. Hopefully I can find some more precursor worlds around here that I can actually colonize. Okay, now there's a rule of 3 that's very important to know. Basically, a planet can't be further than 3 tiles away from its home star. So once you know that, you know how much you need to explore, basically, when looking around star systems. This anomaly slows down movement, so I preferably don't really want to go into it. This scout can come down here. There are galactic resources I can pick up at some point, but they're not important at this stage of the game. Not really, anyway. Right, so there's a planet here. Let's colonize this. I'm not sure if it's a bug, but with the Iconis system, you actually get an event for colonizing the habitable planet there, which not all races actually have that if you colonize a planet within your home system. But we've got an event here. I'm not going to read these events apart from the special events because it takes too long. I'm actually going to pick Malevolent as my starting pick here. It's actually the best pick as well, probably, so happily pick that. I'll come back to that in a minute. Now, ideology is something I need to talk quite a bit about. Basically, there's very key ideologies here that I especially need if I'm going to do well in this game. Now, this line here in the Malevolent traits is all to do with production, and it's probably overpowered if anything. This is the line that I most frequently use for all races. It's probably the best line going. So you get extra production there for your homeworld. This is the real key one. This gives 100% to military manufacturing. And I believe it's not just the actual homeworld, but it's the home system. So that smaller planet within my home system benefits from this as well. I actually considered picking the Kryn's starting home system because they have 3 planets, so this would have been even better, especially once they were all terraformed. But having a good starting homeworld, I think, is with 13 tiles rather than 8 is a better idea. I think it's going to take a while before I can get this. The death furnaces, that's very, very good as well. Extra raw manufacturing and also ideology points. So this is a key line for me. But I'm actually going to be making or picking some pragmatic picks at some point. I was very tempted to pick this up early on. You can actually upgrade these into colony ships. That would have helped a lot, but I think it's more important that I get to this sooner. Also with the Terrans especially, this is very, very good. This actually lowers shipyard decay. Now the Terrans already start with less shipyard decay than other races, minus 50%, so they can actually get minus 100% shipyard decay. And that means you can basically move production from any planet to any shipyard on a map with no decay amount. So that's a hugely beneficial ability to have, and hopefully I'll be able to pick that up at some point. Now, this is also incredibly important. This gives you the ability to remain at peace with the eyes for 50 turns after you selected it. Because of our -2 diplomacy, -2, it means that the eyes are almost definitely going to declare war on us at some point, unless I pick this up. This will give me a lot of leeway to build up my strength and actually be able to compete with the eyes. So I definitely need to pick that up. That's pretty good as well, which I wouldn't mind picking up, extra ideology points. But yeah, I'm going to be picking this up first. It's not useful yet, the malevolent building. It's very expensive, but long term it might be. But I need to get to there quickly, basically. You'll see why in a bit, once I start to get my manufacturing up. Right, so I believe that's almost it for the turn. Let's actually buy a factory though. Okay, and end the turn. Right, so this colony ship, now there's a rule of 3, isn't there? So I need to make sure of this. One there, one there. Sadly, nothing there. Let's move that over to there. Can move up here. Let's colonize this world. So this is class 14 and 50% extra income. Important to remember, because I may want it as an econ world potentially with an extra 50%. So Malevolent gives that, and even if that had been a research world, I probably would have picked this because I need the Malevolent points. So yeah, that's what I'm going to pick. Sadly, you can't actually see the tiles of a world before making that decision, which I believe Stardock should allow you to, but it's not currently the case. Now, the Terrans have an ability where you actually get a free building on your planet to start out, so you can see it mentions it there, but it only works on the basic buildings. Colony has 1 free normal improvements available. You can't do it with that building, for example, which is what I'd probably do if I was able to. It used to work on shipyards, and I think it still does, but I haven't tested it, and I'm not going to find out now either, because I think getting production up on my world is more important. You can see how little production is here, and with the pop cap being so low, I need to get factories up soon. That actually is pretty good. Extra morale, so being a bit lucky there. Influence and tourism. Let's well, luck is manufacturing, so I'm going to put my manufacturing over here. Free one there. Something I need to remember is to take that off, because I don't want it to auto upgrade. Don't necessarily want to build all, well, have all upgrades done before building other buildings. Right, so that's done. I think I forgot about this world, didn't I? So I want a factory there. I need to put that on. Let's build that there. So that's for free, and I'll put that in the list. Okay. So in this circumstance, with those morale bonuses, this arguably wasn't so important, to be honest, to get so quickly. So if I'd known I was going to get 2, I might have actually gone for that first, but oh well. Right, so this scout ship can come down here. Might as well finish it now that I've started it. Will benefit their homeworld still. Right, let's move in. Did I buy a factory on Infernum? No, I didn't. How much money have I got? Right, I'm going to buy that, but it's pushing it. Right, next turn. Okay. Right, so that extended range a tiny bit, but not an awful lot actually. Let's come over there. Come over there. Capsule, which isn't quite as good as an artifact. I found another planet. Brilliant. Now, is that within 10 of that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, it's not. Now, my range is either 10 or 11, and I actually need to find out probably now. Is there a way to do that? Right, I just took a minute out then to count the range from one of my planets with this scout selected. So it's got 21.6 range. And I found that it doesn't seem to actually round up the 0.6. That's 21 tiles exactly to there. It's not 22, which is what I was hoping it was. So that's 11 tiles away, which would mean I'm 1 tile out if I decided to buy another one of these. So I'm not actually going to buy one, sadly. I probably can't afford it. I could buy one with one range, like this one here. It's an extra 40 credits, 740. It might be worthwhile, you know. Getting, what's that? That's 10 points. That's 20. If I could colonize that, I could get the production. That is worthwhile, I think. Right, I'm actually going to buy... I'm going to stop that this turn then. I'm going to anchor that. I'm actually going to buy that colony ship. So 730 is going to cost. And that could be moved to there. It's going to take a while, but yeah, I'm very, very low on money now. I'm not going to be buying anything else. Dangerously low, in fact. So I need to find another race pretty quickly because we are running at a deficit. Right, let's end a turn. Okay. Let's press cancel there for a second. Get that off. I think I will take population off everywhere. So it does have the range to get down there. I think I'll explore before actually bringing that down. Let's get interstellar travel. 3 turns. Okay, the capital's morale went up, which means well, we're getting all of those bonuses, including raw production, so they do get more production in effect by getting that approval, which is going to help. Production isn't just manufacturing, it's wealth, research and manufacturing. Can be a bit confusing. Right, so the scouts can move there. Holy crap. Right, this is what dreams are made of. I've found a precursor world. I can actually use that colony ship to grab it as well. So you can see it has a huge minus to food, which is going to be... I'm actually going to have minus 80% food because of my initial malice to food as well. So it's not going to be an amazing precursor world, but extra 10 raw production is going to be incredibly useful there. So that colony ship is going to make its way down here as quick as it can. Let's unanchor that. I need to figure out where I'm placing this now. Am I going to place it differently because of that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move it to there. Okay. Idle ship, colony. I still want to extend my range over here, so I'm not going to come back down there. That can't move. Right, I've actually moved that, have I? Right, end of turn. This colony ship can come down there. Wow. Oh my god. Right. I've just found a class 26 world. That's... wow. I'm not even sure I've ever done that before. This is the start that I wanted with this custom race, and I needed perhaps even. So this is going perfectly so far. Let's bring this out to there. Right. Okay, brilliant. The scout can continue down here. There's a rule of 3 if I go around all of these. Okay, I've just found a major faction, the Snaffy, so that's not good. He's down here as well, so he's probably pretty nearby. Now the Snaffy are a malevolent race. They're actually on good terms with us, surprisingly, already, even though I have... Oh, they have a minus to diplomacy as well, that's probably why. But who knows, I might be able to stay on good terms with them after all. But I need to colonize down here quickly, it would seem, if I'm going to beat them to these planets. Wow, okay. I think at this point it's been a brilliant start, and I'm actually going to call it the end of the video here. I'm not sure how long I've been recording for. Things are going very well. The snaffling may be a bit of a drawback, having found them so soon, but yeah, I'm really optimistic about how things are going. So I hope you've enjoyed this first video. Thank you for watching. If you have, please help me out by giving this video a like. I'm really grateful to those of you who do that, as it improves my videos in YouTube's search rankings. It's very hard to compete with the much larger channels, and that massively helps out. If you want to actually help my channel become a larger channel, you may want to consider becoming a subscriber of mine. There's plenty more content on channel that may interest you, like this. Not just more Galciv 3 Let's Plays and guide videos, but other content for other 4X games, and even games for other genres like Pillars of Eternity and Fallout 4 I've also covered previously. And also, if you have any comments or questions, please leave a comment in the comments section. I try to respond to questions left on the channel no matter how old a video is. And also, I have a Patreon page that you may be interested in. Basically, I really rely on my patrons to help out and provide donations so I can actually feature certain games on the channel. So a lot of the upcoming content on the channel this year will be because of patrons' donations. So I'd just like to thank my existing patrons, and I hope that you may want to consider becoming a patron yourself. If there's a certain expansion or new game coming out that you definitely want to see, that really does help if you were to become a patron of mine. Right, that's it for this first video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.